The Gold Man is a Diiiiisney Shill. Well, I don't have any real evidence that he works for Disney or pushes Disney on his channel for financial gain. However, anyone that makes a 2.5-hour video attempting to debunk Rey being a Mary Sue is a giant Diiiiisney Shill. I've had a lot of requests to talk about this video, so I took the time to watch the whole thing. Now, I am a proud, toxic member of the Star Wars fandom. I am also a Star Wars gatekeeper, but I am going to fairly evaluate this video. I will break it down and discuss all the points and give you a definitive answer. Is Rey a Mary Sue? So to begin with, what is a Mary Sue? Mary Sue is a character in a Star Trek fan fiction. She was a 15-year-old strong woman that single-handedly saved the Enterprise. The men fell in love with her easily and she was just super.
Right there, please have a seat.
Okay.
Right there. Set the phone down, please.
The definition of a Mary Sue is a generic name for any fictional character who is so competent or perfect that this appears absurd. Mary Sues are often an author's idealized or flawless self-insertion. They may excel at tasks that should not be possible for them, or they may upstage the protagonist. They may disregard previously established aspects of the fiction, such as characterization and natural laws. There can only be one Mary Sue. So when people say Rey is a Mary Sue, they aren't saying she literally is Mary Sue. They're saying she is very much like Mary Sue from Star Trek. The Gold Man is also under the impression that Mary Sues are perfect, and he uses that throughout his video, pointing out all of Rey's flaws. The thing is, Mary Sue from Star Trek was not perfect. She was flawed. She died at the end of the story because of a disease. So we got a girl named Mary Sue, did a whole bunch of great things and was flawed, and we got a girl named Rey, did a whole bunch of great things and was flawed. A lot of people have called Rey a Mary Sue. It's clear, without looking into it deeply, that it's a fair topic for debate. Now, are they right, or are they completely exaggerating, making the Gold Man correct? I broke down the entire video and I came up with possible Mary Sue moments in the sequel trilogy. I will be discussing these in detail and giving them a ranking. 0, Rey was not a Mary Sue in this case. 1, Rey was a Mary Sue. 2, there was some bullshit and Rey was really a Mary Sue. Then for the bullshit moments where Rey was really a Mary Sue and it contradicted established Star Wars lore, she was given a 4. Now, I debated whether giving this a 3, but I think it's only fair that I give her a 4 for something that literally destroys Star Wars lore. That way, if in one scene she gets a 0, that averages out to a 2, which is still some major bullshit. If you have a problem with my scoring system, feel free to make your own video and eat my ass. The first example is Rey's parents. She's flawed, she cares about her parents a lot. This is a 19-year-old that's been on her own for 10 years, and she doesn't realize her parents ditched her. What a loser. She should have moved on already. She had the skills to get off Jakku. Look at this wall. Who does this? Who actually likes this movie? No one would be stupid enough to sit around for years doing this. Rey can speak with all the droids and communicate with Chewbacca, because why not? He validates it by mentioning the box office flop Solo. Well, it's not strange she can speak Wookiee because Han Solo could in Solo. Solo was released after this movie and is a Disney product. It's just too much. She can communicate with all of them. I'm giving 1 point. Rey defending herself. He talks about Rey's ability to fight. People ask, why is Rey tough and good with a staff? He makes a good point about how no one questions skills from the original trilogy characters. I accept that Rey is a strong woman. Her being able to fight and use a staff isn't a problem I had with this movie, but I feel he's setting up mental gymnastics for later. Throughout the movie, Rey is portrayed as very strong. The way she effortlessly climbs and fights, people use her staff experience as a reason why she beat Kylo Ren. We also know how Disney is with identity politics in this movie. They use Finn because he's black, they use Rey because she's a woman, and purposely made her strong. I'm giving Rey 1 point. Number 4, Rey had a ridiculous knowledge of the Millennium Falcon. The Goldman, who is a giant Diiiiisney Shill, points out that Rey has a lot of background knowledge about the ship, and how she had a rocky takeoff. I acknowledge that, but they were going to be killed by the non-canon First Order, and she was clutch. This was a Michael Jordan fourth quarter performance. Did you see the maneuver she was doing? Then he tries to compare this to Luke Skywalker's attempt at the Death Star and even trashed his kill shot. Obi-fucking-Wan Kenobi told him to use the fucking Force. Obi-Wan was very wise and knew what he was doing. Luke listened to the Jedi Master, he used the Force, and the Force helped him destroy the Death Star. All Luke did was press a button. If he didn't use the Force, he'd have used the computer. The Goldman can try to spin this all he wants. I'm giving 1 point here. Rey's Force vision. She handled it like a biznatch. She ran away and cried. That is not what a Mary Sue would do. I'd give her 0 points, but since the vision happened in the first place, she has no training in the Force, and she's able to have this vision. The lightsaber called out to Rey. That is some straight up Disney bullshit. 1 point. So 45 minutes in, I'm still alive. The Goldman, I gotta say, did his homework. I don't agree with every point, but 45 minutes in, the Mary Sue argument is not holding up, but the goddamn movie isn't over yet. The worst is yet to come. Number 6, the mind reading scene. Rey not only rejects Kylo's advances, she's able to read his mind. She's had 0 training. This is 2 points for being a Mary Sue, plus 2 points for contradicting established lore. 4 points. This video was made in 2020 after the rise of Skywalker. The Goldman, who is a giant Diiiiisney Shill, is literally using the Force Dyad as an excuse for this scene. The Force Dyad was a shit-ass retcon put in the Rise of Skywalker script. In 2015, when The Force Awakens was released, there was no dyad, so it can't be used to explain this scene. You can try to debate this, but the Force Dyad makes 0 sense because Snoke bridged their minds in The Last Jedi. He bridged their minds, setting up a trap for Rey, and it worked. It was essential to the plot. So definitely, I'm not letting the Goldman use a shit-ass retcon that is a direct contradiction to the shit-ass Last Jedi to explain this Mary Sue incident in the shit-ass Force Awakens. The Jedi mind trick. I'm not going to let him mansplain this. A day ago, she thought Luke Skywalker was a myth. Today, she's perfectly executing a Jedi mind trick. And she's had 0 training. This is another 4 points. Mary Sue contradicts Star Wars lore. Number 8, Rey overpowered Kylo Ren with the Force. That is a Mary Sue contradicts Star Wars lore. 4 points. Number 9, just the whole fight. The Goldman suggests Kylo could have killed her if he wanted in the first part. I think that's true, but it is ridiculous how well she's able to defend herself and frustrate him with a lightsaber. It is beyond ridiculous what happened once she had a moment to really tap into the Disney Force.
Oh, and by the way, I think Rey winning this fight makes perfect sense.
I made a video breaking down this fight a while ago. Kylo was injured, but look how he was fighting Finn. He was moving around well, and he was showing off. He didn't lose to Rey because he was hurt. He lost because he was overpowered by a Mary Sue. 4 points. Why couldn't he just overpower her with Force abilities like he previously did twice? Then he goes on to make an excuse that Kylo was conflicted. If this was 2 trained Force users going at it, one significantly stronger than the other, I could accept the injury and his confliction. But this is Rey Skywalker. Never used the Force, never used a lightsaber, kicking his ass. Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, trained for over 10 years and still didn't know everything. Training in the Force is a lot more difficult than just picking up a lightsaber and owning someone. This is why people call Rey a Mary Sue. This is not how the Force works, but it does if you're Rey Skywalker, and it does if you're Disney. Number 10, Rey hugging General Leia. I'm adding this in. Rey is a Mary Sue because she's liked by everyone. Finn is in love with her. This is just over the top. Why are they hugging? 1 point. Alright, on to The Last Jedi. Rey showed terrible judgment falling in love with Kylo. 0 points here. Number 12, Rey pulls some Return of the Jedi shit and tries to save the day after 1 day of training. 1 point here. Number 13, Snoke owned Rey. This is very un-Mary Sue-like. 0 points will be given. Number 14, Rey receives very little training, yet leaves the island more experienced and equal with Kylo Ren. The argument in The Force Awakens is Rey beat an injured, conflicted Kylo Ren, and she tapped into the dark side. But now, after a day of training, she's equal with him. She still should know what the hell she's doing. The Praetorian Guards were no joke. She should have died. 4 points for being a Mary Sue and contradicting Star Wars lore. Number 15, Rey taking out TIE fighters. 3 in 1 shot. Wow! Fuck it. We've never seen 3 go out so easily. This is ridiculous. 2 points. Number 16, Rey moving the rocks. I'm giving it 2. The rocks were fucking huge. It's comparable to Yoda in the X-Wing. Next, we have The Rise of Skywalker. I have a little more respect for Rey's abilities in this movie. There was a time skip of a year, and she's been training. Yet it doesn't erase all the Mary Sue activities that she accomplished in the past. Number 17, the Goldman states that in The Rise of Skywalker, Rey is insecure about herself. She gives Leia back the lightsaber. 0 points. Rey makes stupid decisions throughout the movie, putting her friends in danger. 0 points. Number 19, this ridiculous jump. This is 2 points. Then she spontaneously uses Force Lightning to take out a transport. This is another 2 points. Fuck her. Oh, and then the fucking dagger scene. 4 points because she found the Wayfinder so easily and because this movie is fucking trash. Number 22, Rey loses to Kylo Ren. 0 points. Number 23, Rey abandons the Republic. A Mary Sue would not do this. 0 points. And number 24, Rey beats Palpatine. I don't care if she used the Jedi text. I don't care if she literally died. This was the worst thing ever in Star Wars. 4 points. Mary Sue contradicts Star Wars lore. So let's take a look at the scoreboard. I counted 24 events. Rey's final score was a 42. That averages to a 1.75. A 1 averages out to a Mary Sue. A 2 is some fucking bullshit Mary Sue. She falls right below the fucking bullshit line. Yet she's still a Mary Sue. Despite some unforgivable cases of her Mary Sue-ness, she is a flawed character, keeping her below a 2. Do this test with other characters in Star Wars or other movies. I guarantee they receive scores a lot lower than a 1.75. You know, I wanted to be fair with analyzing Rey, and this 1.75 just doesn't sit well with me. We really should just be analyzing the Force Awakens score. That is when everyone started calling Rey a Mary Sue. Rian Johnson was in his own world doing his own thing, and J.J. Abrams tried to correct this criticism of Rey in The Rise of Skywalker to a degree, which lowered her score. In just The Force Awakens, we have 10 cases. Rey scored a 21. That averages to a 2.1, which is over the total Mary Sue fucking bullshit line. So to conclude, Rey Skywalker is a Mary Sue. Her character is fucking bullshit. The Gold Man is a sequel-loving giant Diiiiisney Shill. For 2.5 hours, he tried to mansplain Rey's abilities and he failed. Everyone's claim is now validated. I encourage everyone to spread the word. Rey is a Mary Sue. Rey is also a garbage character. She needs to be retconned immediately. Don't get distracted by The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Disney is not done with Rey Skywalker. They are going to revisit Rey in the future and continue her story. That is why it is essential to become a knight, subscribe to the channel, join my movement to hashtag retcon the sequel trilogy. We need to stop the Rey Skywalker sequels. Join the Knights of Melvin Discord, help plot to take down Disney and all their shills.
Dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider unnatural.